right, everyone. So thank you first and foremost for jumping on. I know it's a pretty special night because we have two Vanessas launching. So it's really exciting to see these beautiful ladies jump on board our new journey. I know it can be really intimidating and a little bit scary for them at the start. So I really appreciate you guys jumping in here and just showing them, you know, a little bit of kindness and support jumping online. It can be a little bit strange at first to use something like this. So I know for them, they'll really appreciate having you guys on as well. So I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Katrina, and I'm the team leader of our greater team. So I get the pleasure of launching these beautiful ladies. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight about what they're doing. I think sometimes when our friends and family get into these things, you have certain connotations or certain worries, and it's hard for them to explain what they're doing, and sometimes a lot of old preconceived notions come up. So we're just going to destroy some of that and let you guys know that it's really exciting what they're doing. And it's a really good way for you guys to know what they're doing so that you can support them. Maybe not necessarily yourself, but you might know somebody who could be interested in what they're doing, and word of mouth is how we run our business. Okay, so basically what we do is we're wellness advocates. So we understand the power of fruits, veggies, and berries, which a lot of us do. I think in life, especially these days, it gets really, really hard. Oh, Tracy's just said that she can't see me. Can anybody else see me? I hope so. I always keep.
I can now. All good.
Wonderful. I was like, oh, that's not
Something weird happened.
Not a very good.
Sorry.
But yeah, so we are wellness advocates. Our products and our program really perpetuates the importance of whole food. Sorry, I've got a little guest tonight. So we really understand that lifestyles are hard, and we should be eating between, 5 to 10 serves of fruit and veg every day to be able to make our body at the optimal stage. A lot of us just clearly aren't doing that. And it's hard, especially if you have a family and you've got young children like these ones that don't really want to eat that food all the time. It's hard to get the nutrients into them. And it's hard being a busy mum making sure that that happens, not only for your kids, but also for yourself. So a lot of the time we lack energy. You're seeing skin conditions come up. You're seeing asthma come up. A lot of the time it's different sorts of things, autoimmune conditions everywhere at the moment, and not to mention diabetes. A lot of health, diet-related illnesses are popping up, and it's really quite scary. But when we look at the foundation, that what we're feeding our body and most of the time fueling our body with, it's no wonder that a lot of us are getting sick. So that's where we come in, and we have a whole program that's designed around good food made easy. Because a lot of the time it's really hard to eat good food. We understand what we should be eating. We understand that, real whole food is good for us. Fruits, veggies, and berries, the things that come from the ground, are really great for us. If we go to the shops, it's very hard to get good quality of those. A lot of the time they're sprayed, they're picked when they're not ripe. So they are ripened using gas and lights and different things like that. That makes it hard for our body to get the nutrients that it needs. So we have designed a whole program around an amazing product called Juice Plus. Now, some of you may have heard of it, some of you may already be on it, but I'm just going to break down that product just a little bit before I go into our greater program and how we like to achieve a general wellness through good food. So this is what my daughter's just eating. Obviously, it's good because she's happy to just eat the capsules as they are. So we just have 2 products in the program. So that's what I really like, because it's simple, it's easy, and it's easy for the whole family. So not just you. You can give it to your children, to your partner, and you can slip it in your daily routine quite simply. So these are whole food products. They may not look like it. They do come in a canister, but they are literally classed as whole food, and we're TGA approved to be able to confirm that. So that's really special. What they do is they take 27 different fruits, veggies, and berries. They let them get to the peak ripened stage. So that's what we're missing a lot in society. It's picked for convenience, and it's not picked when it's nutrient dense. So Juice Plus waits till that complete last stage. They hand take it off a vine, and then they pulp it. So they keep all of the seeds, the skin, all the nutrients, everything that's supposed to be inside our bodies. They take it, they juice it, they extract the water, and the sugar comes out with that too, if you're ever worried about having a high sugar content with the fruit and the berries. So they extract that water and they freeze dry it down to a complete micronutrient level. So I'm going to take one of these out of here. Lola's got one in her mouth. But this is what's left. It's a tiny, simple little capsule full of fruit powder. It's actually inside a vegan capsule as well. So the whole product is plant-based. Now, inside these, you're going to have 3 different types. So we've got the fruits, the veggies, and the berries. They're good, aren't they? And they will work on a cellular level. So what they do is they're bioavailable. Because they're real food, our body recognizes it as real food. So that's where the difference between what we offer as a whole food option and your supplements that you're going to find at the chemist and things like that, because quite often they are made inside a lab. They're synthetic, so our body doesn't recognize it and doesn't absorb it. Juice Plus, because it is whole food and there's no tampering, there's no change, there's nothing synthetic, there's not even any herbicides or pesticides done in any of the growing, our body recognizes it and it fuels it at that cellular level. So that's what I find really important. Totally natural, nothing that shouldn't be in our body, just more of what should be. So it's quite a simple and easy step to be able to get more of those nutrients inside your body every day. So that's what we call the micronutrient product. And then what we have is the macronutrient. So for anybody who's into fitness or understands, you know, the difference between macro and micro, these are our good fats. So while our fruits, veggies, and berries obviously have a place, so do the good fats and the protein inside our body. They're very good for healing, they're very good for recovery, and for balancing out our body. So these ones that, again, totally plant-based, you're not going to find any kinds of, you know, nasties, no synthetics, no chemicals, absolutely nothing. But heaps of cool, amazing things like superfoods. I'll just read some out to you because they blow my mind. Every time I look at it, I find something different. So they're all pea protein based. Broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, radish sprouts, amaranth, pomegranate powder, mushroom powder, spirulina. And my favorite thing about these is they actually contain a natural mineral called niacin. Now, niacin's a natural antidepressant. I couldn't believe that when I read it. I have a family who suffer completely with depression, and never once did I know that there was a natural alternative, or not, I shouldn't say alternative, but a natural way to combat the depression links inside our minds. I found that fantastic, and I was already on the capsules, and as soon as I did realize that, I went straight on the shakes, and I'll tell you more about my story later. But these guys are simple. They're basically powder. So you can either use them as a typical protein shake, so you can put them in with some coconut water, some water, you know, make a smoothie, a banana, berries, whatever you decide to make, or you can put them inside your cooking. So we also have an amazing recipe book, which I'll talk more about our program, where you can put them inside cakes, muffins, yogurts, oats, different types of things to get more superfood into your family. So of course that's very important, especially if you've got fussy children, because you need to easily disguise it. Hello, back up here. So they come in 2 yummy flavors. So you've got chocolate or vanilla, depending on what you're after. Chocolate is amazing. It is so good. It tastes just like Milo. So my kids have one of these in the morning with a little bit of almond milk or coconut milk. And we've replaced totally our, you know, full of sugar, synthetic kind of chocolate drink that we were having with breakfast. So a much easier alternative. Now the coolest part about these products, they are all natural. They're a great way to get better stuff into your body. There's kids' products as well. We're totally out at the moment. That's why my daughter's just munching on capsules. If I read these to you, this is what she's eating right now, okay? This is great to show you. The ingredients in these, because they're whole food, we can totally read it. So you're not going to get any crazy, you know, 18-letter long word. It's literally carrot, cabbage, kale, broccoli, beetroot, tomato, garlic, parsley, spinach, tomato, yeah, a few other different types of things. Literally, spirulina as well. Literally food. There's nothing in here that is not food, and that's why we have a whole food label. But if I put a plate of broccoli in front of this girl, there is no way she would munch on them like she is. So it's a really amazing way to be able to get those nutrients and that fruit juice into your family really conveniently. But they do also have kids products, just in case you don't have a crazy little capsule chewer like mine. These are empty because our family loves them so much, but they are exactly the same as the capsules. So we have the veggie ones here and the fruit ones. But what they do is, instead of freeze drying it and turning it into a powder and putting it in a capsule, they mix it with a little bit of tapioca and turn it into a chew. Okay, it's really yummy. Even the vegetable ones are mixed with a little bit of fruit juice, so they are sweet and they do taste nice for the kids. And then you're getting all those nutrients into your kids as well as your own body. My favourite part is that these are absolutely free with every adult order, which is massive. I bought these off my friend, and when I realised that that was the seller for me, not only that the products made sense, you know, I understood that I needed more fruits and veggies in my body. I wasn't getting them. I understood that's probably why I felt so crappy. But when she said that my kids could get these free, that was it. You know, it kind of showed me that the company wasn't just about selling and pushing a product. It was about really turning over health for the next generation, and being able to give away free products for that next generation really showed me that they had a massive heart. They wanted to change. Their whole mission is one simple change. It's getting people to understand that fruits, veggies and berries are amazing for our body, and that we should be getting them into our body every day, as much as we can, and the best quality that we can. So that's a little bit about the products. They are amazing. If you have any questions or queries, go back to whoever invited you to watch this link, because they are pretty much experts on the products by now. But one worry that I had when I came into this was that I wasn't sure whether they were replacing anything. Like, I think that's probably the biggest thing that in my mind, I couldn't understand. You know, why don't you just eat more fruits and veggies? But what I want to explain is that that's exactly what these make you do. Okay, there's a massive concept, and I will go into it a little bit later. It's the universal law, okay? Whatever you're putting into your body, it's going to crave more of. Like, whatever your energy you're putting out, you're going to get back. So because we're filling our body full of nutrient-dense goodness every single day by adding these capsules into our body is starting to crave different things. It does start to rid toxins. So a lot of the time, if you do have a toxic diet, or you understand that you're going to need a cleanse or something like that, it will start to push things out of your body. So you may start to break out. You may start to have the sweats and things like that. That is all the good stuff inside our products working and pushing it out. And that's amazing. Okay, then what it does is, as your body starts to get used to having the good stuff rather than the bad stuff, your body knows it's good for it and starts to crave it more. So with my kids, I think, you know, there's no placebo effect on kids. They are the biggest seller to me. What happens with kids, you know it's real. So my daughter, my eldest one, super fussy. The only things she would eat are apples, berries, and white potato. Coming into this program was hard for her, because we started to actually use the program. So we started to eat more whole foods. We started to neglect the things like chicken nuggets and processed rubbish. Within a week, she asked to take carrots to kindy in her lunchbox. That was insane for me, because she'd not only never touched carrots on her plate, but she'd never even wanted to try different foods. So the fact that she was going out of her way, or her body was going out of its way to really put more goodness into it, it made me realise that this stuff was real. What it was promising was actually happening, and I could see it within my family. For me personally, I came into the products at a time when I was really down and out. So mentally, physically exhausted. Like I said, there's traces of depression and anxiety within my family. And I'm not too proud to say that it was totally ridding me of what I could and couldn't do every day. I'm really lucky that my girlfriend from school was selling Juice Plus. I had no idea about it. To be honest, when I seen her posts, I seen it come up in a capsule, and I thought, oh, you know, supplements, rubbish, whatever, you know, from the chemist type stuff. It wasn't until I sat down and had coffee with her that she said they're 100% natural that it really got my attention, because I come from a family where we're a bit holistic, if you say. We're a bit hippie. I understand the power of fruits and veggies. My mum used to juice every morning because she has a serious autoimmune condition, and she believed that her food was her medicine. So I understood when she said it was natural that I could use a product like that. I was at such a stage where I didn't want to go on to synthetic medications. So I thought, well, before I do that, I'm going to give this a try. Like I said, I started on the capsules because I didn't read into the shakes properly. Within 3 days of being on the capsules, my energy levels were insane. I even posted this morning, my daughter's been up the last 2 nights with a really bad toothache. And it's like going back to newborn. Thank you. I haven't had to do that in a long time. And it's so good to know that these still keep my energy up so well. I've just got to take them in the morning and they do their job for me. There's no more yucky coffees or, caffeine drinks or anything like that. It's literally just fruits, veggies and berries now. So, lost my train of thought. But it did really start to see the energy and the shift and the boost. And for somebody suffering with depression, yes, darling, hop down. The energy was probably my first thing that I needed. A lot of people come into the business and they think that they don't need energy. They're already feeling good. When you have spent so long feeling normal, you start to think it's good. But when I actually had energy and I wanted to do things during the day, it was a whole new level for me. Especially, I had the energy to go and clean up my house after the kids went to bed. I had the energy to get up in the morning and take them for a walk. Things that I knew were good for my mental health, but I just wasn't having the energy to do it because I felt zapped at the end of the day. So literally, as soon as I started the shakes, then I was sold, and I will be sold for life. And I think that's why you find so many passionate people in industries like this, because a lot of the time we are products of the products. We don't sell it to make money. We sell it to help people because we've seen the results in ourselves. Now, the other thing that's so special about what we do and why we become wellness advocates is because the whole program behind Juice Plus, it's called JBT, the Juicy Body Transformation, is really about utilizing whole foods and these amazing products to get more goodness into your body. So the JBT has, I think at the moment it's about 5 recipe books regardless of what you're after. I think one's just solely on healthy chocolate treats, which is one of the favorites in my family. Then we have the Christmas recipe book. We've got 2 guides at the moment that are just family friendly guides. So like I said before, how we pushed chicken nuggets out, because a lot of the time we were buying the $5 ones from Coles and they were absolutely full of rubbish. I wasn't even looking at it. I wasn't even aware. It was just simply an easy dinner. This whole thing transformed the way I looked at food. I looked at the chicken nuggets that they made and they were so clean and so easy. My children still ate them. They were probably even cheaper than $5 by the time that I actually made them. It really started to teach me that we can be healthy. A lot of the time it's just because we're conditioned into certain habits. So the Juicy Body Transformation is about shedding those habits and becoming more aware and taking more responsibility of how you look after your body. So to me, that is a win-win. You've got the products there to help you. You've got the program there to help change your life. Some of the things that we have seen as wellness advocates, and even though Ness have been in the business quite a short time compared to some of our other wellness advocates, they will be able to vouch for some of the stuff that they've seen happen. I know personally, another one of my beautiful mums on here, she has a son with an impacted bowel. Now, he is 10. I'm pretty certain he's just had his 10th birthday. So for 7 years, they have been dealing with the fact that he can't go to the toilet normally. He has actually been constipated for so long that he's lost the effects in his bowels to be able to feel a bowel movement. A horrible, horrible situation, because as you can imagine, kids go to school and quite often kids are kids. They pick on him because he cannot control his bowel movements. He's quite often running to the toilet. He does accidents inside his pants. It is the type of thing that then makes him feel completely anxious about going to school, which is fair enough. It was a situation that was heartbreaking for me. And when I started talking to Miranda, and she started noticing my effects when I wasn't actually a distributor yet, when I was just taking the product. And she talked to me about it and she said, you know what, I want something, because she was feeling the same. We were both in family daycare. We were both really tired, really run down. And she said, I want to try it just for me. Now, like I mentioned, because adults get kids free, Cooper got on the product as well. So she has been to that many pediatricians, that many different kind of specialists, that she never once thought fruits, veggies and berries would be the answer to Cooper's problems. But within 2 weeks, Coop felt his first bowel movement, which had never happened. which had never happened. Since then, it's not a miracle cure. It hasn't gone away completely. But since then, every day has been better than the last. And Miranda said pretty much now she's been on the product for about a year. Same with Cooper. And there's been about, she can count the amount of accidents on her hand. Whereas before Juice Plus, he was having accidents, 2 to 3, maybe even 5 times a day. So that is just one story that's really kind of stuck to me, because I know that if I hadn't have taken the product and shared it, then she may have not have found it. And that's what gives me belief and faith inside this industry, because there's so many misconceptions about direct selling because people don't want to feel like a product's pushed on them. And that was me. Amen. 100%. If anybody had ever pushed a product on me, I think I ran 100 miles away. I was just really lucky that Lauren was respectful about this, and she explained it to me and drip fed me information. So I never felt like I was, being sold to. I literally just wanted to have what she was having. And that's what Miranda did. And that's, what we continue to do. That's what Ness and Ness are doing. They've seen really good results on the product, and now they're going out and sharing those results in hopes to add value to other people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the business as well, because they're actually running into a business and this is their business launch. I'd really like to help people understand what it is they do and how they're going to be making money from Juice Plus. My biggest misconception about this whole thing when I started is I assumed it was a pyramid scam. I had no idea what that meant. But, I'd always heard that direct selling was used in some kind of way to be negative. I was worried that if people were making money off the product, it must be substandard. I didn't understand where the commission came from. And it was just a lot of miseducation on my part. So that's why we do these videos and these launches, to really show you guys what it is that they're doing and how you can help support their idea of their new business. Thank you. So I'm just going to jump on over now. Jessie's Ness. Beautiful. First up, I would love, darling, I'm going to spotlight you and take you off mute. Would you be able to share just a little bit about how the products came into your life, maybe what you've noticed, because I love to hear some more product stories, and then maybe just a little bit about why the business made sense to you and what you've kind of found so far. So I'll just take you off mute. There you go. Sweet.
Hello, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, darling. Floor's all yours.
Okay, cool. So I'm Vanessa. Just a little story about how it got to the point where I really needed something to change my lifestyle for the sake of myself and also my family. I was diagnosed with depression. I suffered severe anxiety as well. My kids, they would catch every bug under the sun. And my son, since the beginning of last year, was hospitalized 8 times between January and October. All that together with the feeling of guilt of not being able to be a full-time mum got to me, and it got to the point where I had to resign. Otherwise, my depression would have just soared through the roof. Just browsing through Facebook, I saw a post about, being able to make that change financially and also health-wise. I thought, what have I got to lose? I've already hit rock bottom. The only way up from here has to be upwards, nowhere else. I got in touch with Jess, and she pretty much just explained what Katrina had gone through. And I thought, you know what, this could be the breakthrough that I need for myself and my children, just to be able to live normally and just to be able to enjoy life like normal people do. Since starting on Juice Plus, I've noticed that in terms of my anxiety, stress, and depression, I've been able to control it a lot better. I'm much more positive. My energy levels soared literally within a few days of consumption as well. After seeing the changes within myself, I'm also having clearer skin. I was diagnosed with some sort of eczema on my hands as well, and I've noticed that cleared up. I thought, wow, this is really working for me. I tried giving my kids to choose. With my daughter, she would catch everything under the sun. It's been 3 months since she's been having the chews and capsules as well in her smoothies, and she's only just come down with an ear infection today, which is 3 months since we started our journey. Now, in our household, that's actually a record. Before Juice Plus, my daughter would be sick literally every week. in terms of my son, as I mentioned before, he was hospitalized 8 times last year from January to October. Since taking Juice Plus, he hasn't had an asthma attack, and also he's been able to stay germ-free as well. Where to from now? I really wish that I had discovered Juice Plus sooner. Now, the reason for that is I believe I could have been a better person, especially a better mother to my kids, and just having a more positive outlook on life and not to wallow in my sorrows with depression, etc. And that. So that's my story. In terms of the business as well, I love what it does for people. I mean, as long as you have Wi-Fi, as long as you have a phone, a tablet, or a laptop, you can literally work from anywhere in the world. And even if that's the doctor's appointment or even waiting for your kids to finish daycare, I pretty much work from anywhere between appointments for myself or my kids, or even just between church and just family dates, etc. Even outings. On Sunday, we went to the beach while my kids were swimming with their dad. I was on the phone networking. When after they had a shower, I'm on our way home. Husband was driving. I was networking as well. So that's how convenient it is. It's not so much of it's a 9 to 5, which is what I was used to for the last 3 years. Now I don't even have to worry about time restrictions. I've got all the time in the world that I can spend with my kids, also working on my business. And as I mentioned before, I would love to share this experience with as many people as I can, just so they know that, there is something bigger and better out there. It's not just a 9 to 5, working for 40 odd years just to retire with enough funds to last you, 2-3 years into retirement. So it's definitely an opportunity to take up if you do have the chance. By all means, what have you got to lose? So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ness, so much. You speak so well. And what you say really resonates with me. It got me a bit teary there, saying, like you wish you found it earlier because it could have made you a better person. I just understand that so much. And I think, it's hard not to regret it. Everything happens for a reason. But I think that's why so many of us are so passionate about sharing it and getting out there. And quite often it can come across the wrong way if people think that they're trying to be pushed into a product. It's not that way at all. It's just that we understand, like Ness said, that there's a better way. And we want everybody to feel that way. Like this morning when I woke up and I knew I'd had the worst sleep that I've had in months, I knew the day was going to be okay. I knew that I was going to survive. Back when I didn't understand, my health, and I didn't understand my business, that shit was hard. Like, sorry, my language, but it was really difficult because I would carry that negative energy with me all day, and I would probably impact my kids, and I would impact whoever I was meeting during the day. And, now I'm just so thankful that there's another way. But thank you so much for sharing, because that really, really touched my heart. I agree 100%. But what we want to do is we want to kind of go over the, the business and how it can work, because it's actually a really exciting business. I shared before how the product came into my life. I was at a really crappy stage in life. I was actually at that crappy stage because my partner of 10 years, we obviously have 2 little bubbers, and this little one was just a little freshie. So I think she was only about 5 or 6 months old when I started the products. He was really sick, like terribly sick, to the point where he couldn't work. He came down with a diagnosis that we were not expecting. So our whole life got turned upside down. I didn't want to go back to work because I just had a baby. I was dealing with depression. I had a baby. Things were too much. But I had to, because everybody knows you've got to make income. Otherwise, you just miss out. You fall behind and things get too hard. And that's where the stress and the depression and everything makes a big cycle. So I had to go back to work. I put it on myself. I was actually running 2 traditional businesses. I ran a family daycare and a dance school. So I was doing family daycare all day and then leaving my family and going and working at the dance school all night. It still makes me feel really emotional, but it was like I left my family and I had no time for me for some reason, we still never had any money. Like, I never felt like I was on top of it, but I was giving everything that I had. Never in a million years did I think that I would join a network marketing company, because I was traditional business. I'd run traditional business from when I was 17. I had the dream to start a dance school, and I went out there and I created it before I even finished high school. So for me, that was my dream. That was what I wanted. When I had a family, I realized that running your own business was shit. I was giving all my time, all my energy. I was paying bills. I was constantly giving, and I was getting very little in return. I went on one holiday to Thailand, and I think we were gone for 10 days. The amount of times I had to call the office was calling me. Dance teachers weren't showing up. Kids' parents were turning up angry because something wasn't done. The amount of times I was on the office, I didn't even feel like I was on holidays. I had no me time. I had no time. Like Ness just shared, she literally fits this business into her family. And that's the way work should be. So many times we're putting work first and we're forgetting to actually live our life and spend time with our family. It's just backwards, right? But that's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. Go to work, get a good job. And like Ness said, retire and have maybe 2 to 3 years of goodness, and then just settle for the pension. Because a lot of the time, that's what our goal of career sets us up for. So with network marketing, it was actually refreshingly different. And I love the products. I shared that before. But once I found that the business behind it, and somebody showed me that business model, it blew my mind, because I understand business. This one makes sense. Like, for me, I love hearing this. I love hearing it. But like I said, I was skeptical at first. I was guilty of it. People say this business is a pyramid because we link arms with other people. Okay? I'll put this up a bit. When I first left school and I wanted to become an entrepreneur and I wanted to have my dance school, I had to go and work for a tourist company in Surfers Paradise. So I'm based on the Gold Coast. It was actually called Infinity. It was fun. It was a good time. But I worked there as an 18, 19-year-old, 40 hours a week. I worked long hours. So because we were open most of the night, I worked a lot of the time. I worked a lot of weekends. I worked a lot of public holidays. And because I was on a salary, there was never any incentive for me to do so. I just had to do it. So what I was doing is I was swapping dollars for my time, which is pretty typical, right? That's what a lot of us do. We go to work, we swap our hours, and we get money in return. A lot of the time, there's a CEO at the top of the business, and then it filters down. And that's the way traditional business works. There's somebody at the top telling everybody else what to do. A lot of the time, these little workers down here are working their bums off. Like I just shared, I was working 40 hours a week. I think at that time I was on something like $18 an hour, which is ridiculous. I was worth a lot more than that. I was doing a lot more work than that, but that's what I put up with because that's what I knew I had to do to be able to become a dance teacher. Okay, I worked there for 7 years. 7 years, and I managed to get up to the 2IC position. So I was a supervisor. I got up to the 2IC position. Now, that was a lot of my time to get a shitty little promotion. And it didn't come with much more money. In fact, it came with even more responsibility. So when I look at this system, it's traditional. It works because there's somebody up here earning a lot of money telling these people what to do. Okay? It works. It works. It's a structure that works. Even when I was the CEO of my business, I was doing the same. But as the CEO, I still didn't have the time freedom that I wanted. I assumed that owning an own business would give me money. Instead, I was spending money on overheads and wages and things like that. And again, I still wasn't getting my time because I was spending it on everybody else and making sure that everybody else had a job. So it just didn't work. Neither of them worked. And I think that's why I was so frustrated and so spent. In this business, it's literally never a pyramid. We are never a pyramid. And I think that's probably the biggest misconception about people. And it's a time-old one. Like we look back to the 70s, there were dodgy, bloody pyramid scams out there. It's known. And I think that is what still hangs around with MLM. But what I want to explain is that everybody comes in and we start off down the bottom. So everybody starts in as what we call a virtual franchisees. So Vanessa and Vanessa have come in and they started as a virtual franchisee. regardless of whether you're a doctor. So we have a lot of doctors within our system because they're recommending a natural product. They can see the benefit of it within their patients. So whether you're a doctor with a master's degree or whether you're pretty much like me, I had no idea what I was doing, I was just running businesses, or you come in as a typical stay-at-home mum, and that's what you've done for the last 10 years. Whether you're a retired school teacher, whatever your story is, you come in as a VF. And I really like that because a lot of the time here, we were going for a promotion and we were stepping over each other, and they'd just hire someone out of here because they had more experience. And it was very, very unfair. It was a system that didn't work because we were competing against each other. And a lot of the time they would just say, oh, this person's got more experience, we're going to put them above you. And it hurt, okay? It wasn't loyal, it wasn't helping, it wasn't respectful. In this one, we all come in as the same and we all have ample opportunity to reach the top. So our top position's called NMD, and there's unlimited spots up here. So unlike the CEO, there's actually unlimited spots to reach our top position. And I think that's really cool because it doesn't promote an atmosphere of competition. That's the biggest thing about our business, and that's why you're going to find so many happy, nice, appreciated people, because they're not competing for their spot. They're not feeling any kind of negative connotations towards anybody else because they know they're on their own personal journey. I can explain so much from the outside, but until you actually step into the world of network marketing and you understand how happy and nice people are, it's really quite a mind trick. Like it's a really cool atmosphere, especially if you've been in this one for a long time and you've been so used to being told what to do, or to the bitchiness, or to the gossiping, or the backstabbing that can happen in traditional work, because people are literally competing for roles. This one, it's nothing like that. In fact, if you are a negative person, you cannot move forward, because the only way you can reach NMD is by reaching out and helping other people. So by me reaching out and running a launch, okay, there is no way that I will get paid on Vanessa or Vanessa's, products or whatever they sell. But it's the fact that I want to go out of my way because I want to see them be successful. And that's the kind of business that we promote, because we know as they're doing well, our business is doing well, and that's what gets us up to the top. So you really do start to see that like versus like. If you be a nice person, you get nice people back, and it starts to be a really much more positive environment. So that's a little bit about our pyramid. It's definitely not a pyramid. If anything, it's an amazing structure that works because people feel respected and people feel appreciated. The appreciation in our business is amazing. The company, Juice Plus, is fantastic. They're a local company here in Australia, down in Newcastle, and they ring us. Like every time we get a promotion or we have a good month, the little home office rings us and congratulates us and talks to us, and sometimes they'll send us some flowers or something. Like, they're really involved. It's really refreshing. It's a really nice place to be in. Now, the other thing, when I started this business, because I think I was spending so much time working and so much trying to keep my family's head above water, I didn't feel like I would know enough people to be able to sustain a business like this. I just want to explain a little bit quickly about that so that I can show you guys that shouldn't be a worry at all, because it's literally, this business just makes itself. So when I came in, I linked arms with two people. So Miranda and Trace. Actually, I'm going to make this Jess. She wasn't actually one of my first, but I'll show you how it works because they're both on here tonight. So Jess and Trace. Tracy has now linked arms with Ness, and Jess has linked arms with Ness. Okay, what's really cool though is before Ness and Ness came along, Jess had Jelaine and she had Gina. Trace had another Katrina and she had Louise. Okay, so that's how it happens. They just meet two people and then they continue on. Then what happens is Katrina met people. Ness will meet people. Louise has met people. I can see Andrew on there and Narelle. And it just literally happens like this. So because I introduced two people, these are the only two people I knew beforehand, right? These people are all now within my greater team. So it really happens quite amazingly. And the beauty of the thing is that everybody out in life is either looking for better health or better wealth. It's a known fact. So out there, what we can do is help with health and help with wealth. So it's literally a business that sells itself. We just go about our lifestyle, and people are attracted to that. People want that. People are sick of working 40 to 80-hour weeks and not feeling respected. So they're really starting to look for a different way to make income. So definitely don't worry about knowing people, because it will just happen regardless. Even Tracy's on here tonight. Tracy knew none of her team. She met them all online. Social media is an amazing tool at the moment. And she literally just linked up, met different people on social media, and they became members of her team. Now, this is the fun stuff. I leave this to the end because it's my favourite part to talk about. When I first started the business, I was in a really shitty financial position. And I'm going to say that quite openly and honestly, because I'm really proud of how far I've been able to come so far. And it's been this business that's got me here. So if you're sitting there and you know that things aren't great financially, it doesn't have to be that way. It literally doesn't, because I'm living proof that, there's so much more out there that can happen rather than just slaving your bum away. So we're going to talk about the money. Now, the money within direct selling, it doesn't come because the product's substandard. It comes because the company is very smart. So our company, Juice Plus, has actually been around for 30 years. So you think in 30 years, not once have they paid advertising, not once have they paid marketing, not once have they even really paid wages, because all of us, we're just contractors. We come into this as our own business and we run things our own way. So the only thing that the company has to do is produce amazing products, because they need to last. A product that's last 30 years obviously knows what it's doing, and it's never changed. It's still been the fruits, veggies, and the berries. So that's a really cool thing to kind of just understand as well. So if you think about it, these guys save millions upon millions of dollars every year. We're a global company, so millions upon millions of dollars every single year on just not advertising. Then when you put in not marketing, they save hundreds of millions of dollars, because there's no outgoings there whatsoever. Literally, they just pay customers who love the product to share about the product. So that is where the money comes, and that is how they can be so generous when it comes to paying us what we deserve to be paid. So we get paid 3 ways in the business. We get paid a commission, we get paid a retail, and then we get paid a bonus. So I'm going to talk about the bonuses tonight, because they're the fun money. As a bunch of majority women, there's definitely some men there and some men that are absolutely kick ass, but majority women, we think that as mums, a lot of the time we don't spoil ourselves enough. So within our team, there's a rule that when you make bonuses, you have to spend at least a portion of that doing something for yourself. So whether it's a manicure, whether it's a handbag you want, whether it's, taking your mum out to a high tea, you have to do something that you've wanted to do but have put off doing it because everybody else comes first. So I'm going to talk about the bonuses, but bear in mind that's 1/3 of the amount of money that we make in this industry. Commission comes from, if I'm helping my greater team work hard, some of this money gets paid to me. Retail, when I sell products to people who come for me as for wellness advice, I get paid some of that money. Okay, when we look at our bonuses, everybody comes in as a VF, like I shared before. Then within the first 10 days, we move on to DVF position. When we reach there, the company legitimately hands us $100 and says, well done. So this is within your first 10 days normally. Okay. Well done. Thank you for taking the chance. It's kind of like, here, this is real. Like, just have this just to let you know that you haven't been into some kind of crazy corrupt thing. This is a real business and we're going to reward you for that. Okay, then we move on to SDVF. This is normally within your first 30 days, and it's going to get a $400 bonus. Now, the cool thing about this business is because there's no managers, or there's no, real kind of head office that's telling us what to do. We literally go out there and help others do it. So like Ness explained before, her upline Jess got her into the business. So Jess teaches her what to do. So when Sarah, where was I getting that from? When Ness makes SDVF, she's going to make $400. Jess is also going to make $400. Okay, so that's the really cool aspect about teaching this to others. Okay, when one of the Nesses hit SC, it's a $600 bonus and a $600 for whoever introduced them to the business. Then we move on to SSC. It's $1,200 and $1,200. No, thank you. Then we move on to QNMD, which is $1,500 and $1,500 for our teacher. And then we move on to NMD. Now this is a nice $3,000 bonus. And your upline doesn't need one because at NMD, you're pretty much earning around 100K residual income. So once you hit here and you have this structure, this percentage that they're paying you from the money is making you around about 100 grand a year residual. So for those of you who maybe haven't had the concept of residual income, that's sitting there regardless of whether you work or not. So that's just 1/3 of how you get paid. If you're still active in the business and you're still teaching people how to do it, you're still getting bonuses. If you're still selling the product yourself, which we all will because we always recommend it, you're still making retail. So this is where it becomes really cool. The money in it is amazing. For me, I share that, we were in a really rough spot because it was just a one family income, as a lot of people are when they've got kids. Within 6 months, I managed to get to, or 6 months I was here, I managed to get to SSC. I'd probably picked up around about 5 grand in bonuses, and probably the same in commission. So what I decided to do was drop one of my businesses. So I no longer worked during the day. Within 10 months of the business, I got to QNMD. And at the moment, I'm hoping to hit this by the end of February. February will mean that I've been in the business a year. So if you guys are sitting there thinking this is a business that's going to take 5 to 6, 7 years to be able to make good money, it's not that case at all. By then it's better money. But this is something that if you get started today and you start building your way out over time, it can literally transform your life. Like that kind of money, it's not money to go and buy material things. It's money to give you freedom. Like I gave up my job. This is what I do full time now. My day today consists of my daughter, like I mentioned, she's been up with a toothache. I didn't have to take time off work to take her to the dentist. I didn't have to worry about fitting it in to my schedule and her schedule. I literally just was like, when's your next appointment? Cool, I can come. Then when we finished, we went to the park, they played. And like Vanessa shared before, I sat and did a few notes and things like that about my team in my notebook. That was my work. On the way home, I made a phone call. Literally, this is my work, just fitting it in where I can. And tonight, when they're hopefully in bed, this is when I get to talk to people. So it's really something that slides in so well. I will share that I always had a dream of living in Bali. Bali's one of my favorite places. I love the vibe there. I love how friendly everybody is. And I just always felt at home there. So when I hit SC, I'd always wanted to live there, but I had absolutely no idea how I could maintain that. A lot of the time we have to work. We feel jotted down. We feel like we have to work to be able to go on holidays, right? So we work pretty much 45 weeks a year to be able to take the 6 weeks off that we want. This meant that I could literally take my work with me to Bali. So we spent 2 months in Bali just doing whatever we wanted. And coming from a family who was struggling, we literally couldn't even pay rent at some stages, to be able to pick my family up and say, let's go get immersed in a different culture and see different things. It was life-changing. It was amazing. And, the good thing is that we can literally go back whenever we want. I can take my work there. Next month, we're going to New Zealand because my partner's from New Zealand. So we're going to go and spend some time with his family. And there's no... there's just no worry anymore. I don't have to put in time leave. He stays at home. I can support both of us now. So there's just, it's a whole different way of living. Money isn't just about buying fancy things or being rich. It's literally about being time rich and being able to do good things. If you can get time rich by selling a good product and helping people get well, it's pretty much like, it's like the Holy Grail. So that's why we're so passionate about doing it. What I'd like to do, though, is just briefly touch on over. I know we've got our other beautiful Ness on. I'm going to get her to share her story. And then just to wrap it up, I'm going to get Tracy her upline to share her story as well, because it's all good and well for me to sit up here and tell you what I've been able to achieve, but it's really cool to see others who have done it as well. So let me see if I can find you, Ness. Hi, lovely. Would you be able to share, like Ness did before, just a little bit about the product, how it came into your life, what you're finding? Just share away whatever you feel your heart needs to share.
Sure. Okay. So I guess I'm a new mum. My bub's now 13 months, and before I got pregnant, I was very, very active. Love my job, but it's not a career. Wanting to get into PT and all that kind of thing. So I did all my courses and everything. Just about to get it started when we found out that we were pregnant. So that went on the back burner while we sorted all that stuff out. And unfortunately, having to come back to work after having a little Oscar, my job can't offer me the same hours as before. So I keen to get back into health and wellness, and came across a post that Tracy had put up about the mums community and inspiring good health and wellness, and met up with her a couple of times and spoke about the products and the community of women behind everything. And it really resonated with me because I love being healthy. I love providing for my family and sharing it with my friends and everything. And so was a little bit skeptical, as not a big fan of supplements and, quick fix weight loss things and all that kind of stuff. Bit of research into the products, and who would have thought they were legit. And so we're now just over a month in. My partner doesn't eat a lot of fruit and veg. Oscar's very picky with his food. So being able to add all these extra nutrients into all of our diets has really, really been amazing. Like my bub's still teething, so waking up at night time, but I'm now sleeping a lot better. Well, we're all sleeping a lot better, functioning a lot better, a lot clearer during the day, and just amazing. Like I've dropped in the month that I've been on these, and weight loss was not my goal at all, but I've already dropped 2 to 3 kilos and down to almost pre-pregnancy weight, which is amazing. Trace also mentioned about the business side of things, which really got me thinking, because like I said, I love my work. It's not a career. I love the people that I work with, but I can't keep doing that. I want to be closer to my family, being able to actually not stress about money and provide for them. So I thought I'd give this a go. And I'm on Facebook all the time when we're feeding and up in the middle of the night with bubs. So why not try to make some money out of that as well? And because I am so passionate about health and wellness, it's just second nature to be able to share my good health and the products that have helped me achieve my good health with everybody else. So I guess I don't have as much of a story to tell as everybody else. My major thing is that my hormones haven't kicked back in since having Oscar, and we do want to try for another baby. Not yet, but soon. And unfortunately, having everything not balancing out at the moment has really impacted me mentally, as well as thinking that maybe I'm not, the best person to be a mother, and I'm not meant to do all this stuff. So it's great to be able to have the positivity of health and the community that this stuff has all brought towards us. And we'll see how we go. Once, I don't think a month is long enough really to give the best advice on all this, but the facts are there. I feel amazing after being on this for such a short time, and it's definitely going to be in my future. And the fact that I can, share it with everybody is just amazing. I don't know, that's all I have.
You say that you don't have a story, but you sound amazing. I know it's scary getting out there and putting it out there to people. Trust me, I still have little panic attacks before I have to get on and talk to people that I've never met before. But Like, that story is amazing. Even just the fact, like, you come from such a healthy, fitness orientated background, the fact that you can see the power in, you know, because I was the same. I shared that I seen it in a canister. I was like, no, but it's so much more than that. Like, it's actually an amazing product and a whole food product at that. So that's beautiful. But thank you for sharing, darling. I'm going to shoot on over to Trace, and she can just quickly share. Trace is just about to hit SSC, so she's at the stage where it's probably starting to impact her family. She's starting to see a little bit of a difference in her wage, and it's starting to help out a little bit. So I'm just going to spotlight her and let her share a little bit of her story for you. It sounds terrible, Trace. Is it your internet? You sound like a robot. I might just pop on back. I'm sure she wants to share, but it's just a little bit internet so unpredictable. But thank you, darling. Thank you for attempting. I'll share a little bit about Trace's story. I know her internet's a little bit. Oh yeah, that's so much better.
That's better? Okay, my phone's got better connection for some reason. All right, so
have you got a
basically
cool. Good thinking.
So I've been in the business for about 9 months now, and it's been, yes, like she was saying, it is definitely life-changing. I do family daycare as well, so I also run a business. So at the moment, this is supplementing my income, so I don't have to work as many days anymore. So that's a really good thing. I'm down to 3, sometimes 2 days a week, and I don't have to worry about money because I know that it's coming in. I know that this business is working for me. So basically, I've had amazing results with my health. My skin, what is one of the main things with me, is just definitely clearer skin and so much more energy. That's one thing, yeah, definitely. Once you get on them, it's just such a different thing. Your body's getting so many more nutrients that it does amazing things. Your body just starts to really feel it, and you get that long, sustainable energy all day long, which is really good. And so that's one thing that has kept me on the products and that made me look into the business. So in 9 months, I've gotten to SC. So that means having a good team, starting out, and basically, like Katrina said, I did it all online. None of my team are family, friends, or anything like that. So all online. I have found amazing people, which you get to form friendships and things like that over periods of time working closely with these people. So it's a beautiful, positive, very positive business to be in. Everyone helps each other. We help each other get promotions, and we're always gunning for each other as well. So definitely positivity is the main key for this business. So it's definitely so different to what I'm used to. Used to being in work, you're told what to do, and you end up hating your bosses. So it's different. You're the boss. You get to do what you want. There is a system to follow, and that is very important. If you're following the system, it will take you up higher, because that is basically, we don't want to reinvent it. But yeah, you can keep following the system and following your uplines. That's definitely, if you see what they're doing and you just follow what they're doing, and it will help you come along into the business, because you don't need to know anything. I came into the business not knowing a thing. I was just listening to Katrina. She introduced me to the business. I look after her girls, and she just told me, do this. So I'll do it. Do this now. I'll do it. And just following the system just like that. I had no expectations. Yet had no idea what I was doing, but just did it. So if you can be easily taught and follow the system, it's definitely something that will really work for you. Yeah, and now I am just started a movement. It's Mums Taking Action. So it's for mums who really want to take grip of their life and want to do more. We lose ourselves sometimes, and this is a good way to rediscover who we are. Have something else other than children to worry about. It's something to focus on and give you more purpose in life. And it's also, for mums who want to do mummy care instead of daycare. I'm a daycare mum. I know what it's like, dropping your kids off at daycare. I see it all the time. The mums are not ready most of the time when they have to put their babies in. And it's heartbreaking. So, my movement is to help those mums. It's, we're not all ready to go back to work when we have to. So this is definitely a different outlook at how to do business and still be at home and look after your little babies and all of that as well. So it's definitely something that I'm very passionate about. And I'm so grateful that Vanessa replied to my ad and saw what I saw, that there is so much potential in this business. So yay, I'm excited for you, darling, because it's going to be really fun. And it's, we're so excited to have you on board as well. So all the best with your launch. And this is, if you're looking into it, or if you're, just even wanting to try the products, definitely jump in and do it. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, lovely. I'm glad we got to hear you. So like,
Yay.
I won't keep this up much longer because we've almost been talking an hour. That's crazy. But thank you so much for jumping on. Like I said, I know it's weird jumping online. You're watching something if you don't even know what you're going to hear, but I really appreciate your time. I appreciate that you guys took the risk to jump on board and support your friends. But I really do just want to kind of say it's okay if it's not for you. If you're sitting here and you're thinking, nope, I'm fine, but just keep an eye out for the people around you who may find it useful, because it really does. Health and wealth, they're the two pain points of the world. And that's why I think we're so passionate about what we do. So even if it's you yourself, if you're sitting there, you can see the absolute, it makes sense to you, either it be the product or the business. Don't be frightened to get your questions answered. I know we all come into this, like Tracy said, pretty frightened. We're not sure that we know enough, that we can do enough, that we can be successful. We all have those feelings. Because your upline has had those feelings, they know how to help you. They know how to best really take your hand and be able to show you how to make this work. So if you're at all interested, please reach out. If you're not, just remember that it's a word of mouth industry. So if you do know of anybody, go out there and help your friends and really help them get off to the business in a strong start. But thank you so much for your time. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. If you do have any questions, feel free to shoot them on through to me or talk to whoever invited you tonight. And hopefully I look forward to seeing some more of you soon. All right, guys, I'm going to take you all off mute at the moment.